Hey there folks, it's Dan here. So I've been doing something different. It's not ABS Stormtroopers for once, but it's been working with my Creality CR-10S or CR-10S5, that's the one, CR-10S5 3D printer, which arrived last week. I built it on that weekend but didn't get around to wiring it up, and since then I've wired it up and done a couple of test prints, and it's been interesting, but it's not been that bad. One of the main things, and I posted it in one of the Facebook groups, was that bed leveling is a bit odd, because the bed is basically on springs that compress up or down. So obviously if you loosen the thread on the nut and bolt, then that allows the spring to uncompress. So it then raises the bed up. As you then tighten it back up again, of course, it pulls the bed down. And I'm finding when you auto bed level the bed, it comes down on the front left hand corner. I've got a video of that which I'll intersect in at some point. It basically comes down lower than it should, but then when you check other areas of the bed, there it's then above. So it does seem it's not the easiest thing to get perfectly level, but I think I've got it about right now. There's, for anyone that hasn't used it, the CR-10 S5, I don't know if all models have, the CR-10 has the ability to change the axis. So you can basically change all of your three axes, and you can adjust it up or down. So you can go in and do either 10 millimeters, 1 millimeter, or 0.1 of a millimeter, and really judge the nozzle height above the print bed. So I found that fine, no problem. I managed to do a bit of tweaking. I don't think the bed is 100% level, so I think if I were actually printing something that went 100% sort of to the four corners, I don't think it would be 100% right, because it's not 100% level, but it seems to be doing the job okay. So anyway, I've started with a few basic test prints. I'll put some pictures up of that. And it was going fine for the first probably, I don't know, 4 layers. They're all obviously very thin layers, and then the edges, the corners, would start to come off the print bed, and then eventually it just lost its adhesion altogether, and then just started moving around, so I had to cancel it loads of times. But then I read a few things online, a few suggestions: hairspray, PVA glue, and I ended up just using a little, like a Pritt stick, not actually a branded Pritt stick, but a little glue stick, and that seems to work fine. So I just used that roughly in the area where I was going to print onto, and then afterwards you can just clean that with isopropyl alcohol. So really simple to keep clean, but that has then worked fine. So I'll quickly go to the other side of the camera and show you a couple of bits of the 3D printer itself, how it's sort of located for now, and also then a couple of bits of what I've actually printed so far. So see you in a sec. So here we go, let's have a look at the actual printer itself. So you will see there, that's a Wearable life-size C-3PO head from Jason Street. That's a fiberglass and polyurethane head, and you can see just, you know, the scale of this. It's an absolute monster. It is a massive 3D printer. But just to say then, so I did have a few test prints originally. Here they are. And basically what was happening was they just weren't adhering to the bed properly. So they'd start printing fine, but then they'd start to lift at the corners, and then of course they'd come off, and the nozzle then starts to move around the print. So it was just failing badly. But what I ended up doing was using this Scotch glue, which I saw recommended online, not necessarily Scotch, but just a glue stick. Put a small amount in the middle where you're going to print onto, and since then it's adhered perfectly. I did also change the bed temperature. The default bed temperature on this seems to be about 45 degrees, but changing that to 60 degrees, the prints have stayed on perfectly so far. Now that I'm using that glue, I might well try a few lower temperatures like 55, 50, and see how the adhesion is. But anyway, this printer itself, I was really impressed. It came with a roll of filament just to get you going. It comes with the SD card, clippers, tools, Allen keys, screwdrivers, everything, and a whole load of spares as well. So we'll have a quick look at those, won't be a sec. Here we go, nothing neat. Obviously you can see I haven't even opened this, but you've got additional pulleys, like the rubber tracks that basically pull the motors around, or pull the all the different parts around with the stepper motors. Spare cables, even a spare print nozzle in there as well, which is fantastic, or extruder as I think it's officially known. So a whole load of spares, which is absolutely great. Even the masking tape, USB cable, all of these bits were supplied in with the unit. So again, well impressed with everything that you get with the actual printer itself. So there we go then, that's a bit of a look there. As I say, a few test prints done so far, and now I've had 2 successful prints, which is good. I might try one more, just, 3 times lucky and all that, but I might try another one. Otherwise, I'll probably move on to actual 3PO parts now. I need to investigate, I need to do more research and find out for my body size what size I should print at. I've seen a lot of people say 107% of the original JSM files, but I'm not sure yet, so I do need to look into that. That's another note, actually. I have been using Cura for the prints that I've done so far. Well, I say actually, the 3PO head print was from Cura. The other one just came on the memory card that came with the Creality printer. But the 3PO one, I've learned a bit about Cura on how to scale up and down, how to change the orientation of the print, but I did find I actually printed a lot of excess supports. So I think moving on, I would adjust the way it prints supports. The 3PO head that I've got, and you'll see it now in this picture, the 3PO head that I printed, which is only at 30%, just 30%, but there's a lot of supports inside, which I didn't really need. I don't think I needed anyway. So live and learn. It was a filament that was supplied with the unit, so nothing ventured, nothing gained. But anyway, really enjoying it so far. Creality CR-10S5, which, as I say, is a monster of a 3D printer. It's working really well so far, and I can't wait to print more things on it. So I'll keep you all updated on Project 3PO. I'll see you all in the next video. If you've enjoyed it, please feel free to drop a like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.